I'm here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, T2T. We're going to do life together. Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you? Oh my God, it's so good to see you. It really, really is. I've been thinking about you all day. I really have. Hoping that you were going to have an amazing day today, and whatever you were faced with, that you knew that you got this and that God would not allow more than you can handle to come your way. I'm your girl, Dr. Tanji. On this show, you know me as your friend Tanji, and welcome to another episode of Talk to Tanji. Can I just stop and say thank you? When I am out and I see people like Claire and Geraldine that I met at Rituals in Rodney Bay today, I told him, I said, I'm going to call your name, all right? Is that all right? And they were like, absolutely. Thank you for your show and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm the one that felt like, my gosh, you're humbling me. People like Kevin from Tapian Hospital, whose sister is Destiny, that told him about this show. Thank you, Destiny. Thank you, Kevin, seriously, for your support. And of course, I gotta mention Don. Don is known as the Dunkin' Donut Man in the Caribbean. And when I tell you that he was just so full of life, I'm thinking, you gotta be a guest on this show, man. He's a school teacher by trade, but he likes to cook. And he said, I just want to see people happy, Dr. Tanji. I'm like, okay, all right, we can do that. And many, many people that I was able to just love on. I am truly, truly grateful. Whenever I'm out again, I get that kind of support. And it reminds me of the gravity of what being a servant leader really does mean. It doesn't mean that I've come that people serve me. It means that I literally have to roll up my sleeves and serve with such a spirit that people understand that, you know what? I believe she really does have me, or I believe that she really does care. And that's what this show is about. And that's who we're going to be hanging out with for the next hour. It's a gentleman that when hi Linda, told me, you got to meet Dr. King. I'm like, okay. And she gave me his number, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll call him. Yep, I'll call him. And then, of course, I meet Ninja Dan, and Ninja Dan is talking the same thing. Dr. King. I'm like, okay, time out. All right, I got to meet this man. And I did. And now I understand. I get it now. Everything is it's crystal clear. When you have someone that goes into neighborhoods that ordinarily a person of his stature would say, are you kidding me, man? I'm a medical doctor. I ain't got time. I'll send somebody. But that's not who this guy is. I had an opportunity to just hang out with him in his territory. And then I said, okay, yep, I see why now. Dr. Stephan King is someone that he's been doing it. And he does it with a smile. And he does it with the support of his family. How about that? And then others that see the vision. Tonight you're going to be elated. You're going to be happy that you stuck around. Yeah, you are. Because he does care. And we are our brother's keepers. And he lives that life. He's not here for show. He's not here for you to say, hey, look at me, what I'm doing. He's saying, come on, let's do this thing called life together. And that's why I want to be a part of wherever he's going. So, without further ado, before my EP tells me it's time for a break, I'd love for you to be introduced to the world renowned, and I said that, yep, sure did. Dr. Stephan King, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
It's so good to be here with you.
Oh my gosh, and you're not just saying that, are you?
No, we've had some wonderful conversations.
I know, right?
Over the last couple of days.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, Dr. Tanji, I didn't know you, and now I love you. I think it's we've had great conversations.
Don't you dare make me cry. It's two things that I'll sweat and cry. Thank you. And I love you. I love the fact that you have taken up the baton. You remind me of Dr. Martin Luther King, who says that I am an agent of change and I have come to make life a lot better.
You know, I love the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yes, sir.
I've listened to his speeches. I've read his books.
Yeah.
And the philosophy
of
Dr. Martin Luther King.
Absolutely.
I call him a spiritual mentor of mine.
Come on.
Because I think there are some great souls that pass through this earth from time, and that he was a great soul.
Oh boy, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
Come on, man. Come on. Did I tell you you're going to be in for a treat this night? Yeah, man. I'm trying to be cool here, but I'm about to jump up and shout. And I'm excited. I'm excited because you don't necessarily have to do what you do, sir. You do understand that, right?
That's a wonderful way of putting it. You know, in life, we are driven by the hand of the Almighty. The Most High drives. And, you know, you say we don't have to do, but sometimes I wonder. Because, you know, there's an imperative in life to do what you are so directed to do. We're here on a mission.
Yeah, we are.
Each and every one of us. We're instruments.
Absolutely.
And so, yes, we don't have to do.
Yeah.
But then if we don't do what we're supposed to do.
Come on.
Then judgment comes our way.
Yes, it does.
You know, because, you know, when you've been to that mountaintop and you've seen, and you know what is there and what should be.
Yes, sir.
You cannot then say no.
Absolutely.
We are doctors. The two of us are medical doctors.
Yes, sir.
When you know something about a patient, you must act.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that is how I see life in general, not just about a patient, but whatever, a public health problem, my people's problem.
Yeah.
If I see it, I must do something.
Oh my God. He's already told me it's time for a commercial break. Dadgummit. I need you to stay tuned because we're going to talk all things Rise St. Lucia, and we're going to hear the heart of the matter. What makes a man with this kind of caliber, these characteristics that he carry, what makes him want to serve and serve from his heart? Would you stay tuned? Thank you again for allowing me in your kitchen, in your boudoir, wherever you watch this show. I love you, St. Lucia. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Hey. You know, Dr. Tanji is a good friend of mine. She has been a good role model, a good person to look up to, and she's just full of life, full of love, and she shares that with everyone, and she lives true to her principles. She has just been one person who has got your back always through all forms of life. And I'm very grateful that I got the chance to meet her. You know, love you, Dr. T.
Hey, it's your girl, Dr. Tanji. You know, from the Dr. Tanji Show. Are you ready to maximize your business exposure? Of course you are. Why not consider placing an ad right here with me on the Dr. Tanji Show on DBS?
Miss Tanji is one of the most amazing people I have ever met in my entire life. She is someone that I would consider to be a mentor, a spiritual mother, a confidant, a family, dear family friend. And I am so blessed to have her in my life. She is someone that I could call on during my hardest moments of life, and she'd pray for me and support me all the way through. And also someone who taught me how to cherish the good moments that come with life. And I just thank God every day that I have her and I can call on her. She truly is a blessing to this world.
This is Dr. Tanji. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Dr. Tanji. We're going to do life together. And we are back. Thank you yet again. I'm your girl, Tanji, on this platform. You're watching Talk to Tanji, and I am live and in studio with none other than Dr. Stephan King of Rise St. Lucia and so many other things that he does, right? But I want to make certain that I say thank you to Miss Crystal Jones, who supports the show all the way from Los Angeles, California, and Christine Q, who sends me beautiful messages of love and hope. Thank you so very much. All right, let's get into why this man does what he does. All right, sir. I've got this proverbial question that I ask every guest. How did you get here? Tell me by automobile or bus. So I understand it, right? But how did you get to this place in life?
Wow. I think it starts with how I was raised. And we spoke about this when we first spoke. And I had a mom, a white English lady, who was actually relocated to Scotland during the war because of the bombings in the south where she was. And she was a woman that raised me to see discrimination and see stigma, see injustice, and not accept it. And she spent years in my life talking to me, mentoring me, showing me when I erred and what I could have done and should have done. And she filled me with stories, and she filled me with love. And I think that's where it started.
Oh, wow.
Fast forwarding all the way, coming forward a little bit, was pathology, doing pathology, and then returning to St. Lucia and doing postmortems. And seeing young people dead, especially murders, you know, and just dissecting them and writing reports and seeing the families and seeing the pain and the suffering, and then saying, this is not enough.
Right.
Because we've got to prevent death.
Absolutely.
We have to prevent violence. And as doctors, as you know, prevention, intervention, and rehabilitation. Yep. So just being in the intervention phase is not good enough.
Absolutely.
So that challenged me. And then, this station, I got to big up DBS and Linda Diet.
And she awesome.
Yeah, Linda's a special lady.
Yes, she is.
She wanted to do an anti-violence campaign, and she pursued me to do this, and I was very bad with Linda. I didn't take her on for a while.
Oh, wow.
And then eventually I did, and I did an ad with her, and that ad went out, Stop the Violence ad. And I met Ninja Dan, Jonathan St. Rose, at an airport. And he told me, are you serious? And I said, of course. So he said, okay, let's speak. So I took my dearest friend, Dr. Jacqueline Bird, a pediatrician.
Okay.
I put her in my vehicle and I said, we got to go and meet this young man. And we went up north to a hotel that was actually closed at the time, and sat down in the garden on a little table. And for about 3 hours, Jonathan St. Rose told the two of us about the situation and the problems with young people and what's happening in the country, his view, and what he thinks should be done. I documented that in a thing that I called a national vision. And And then we formed this organization called Rise St. Lucia.
Yeah.
And Ninja has, at that time, a beautiful song that he sang for the OECS Soca Monarch, which was Rise, which is really an anthem of ours.
For sure.
Which makes the point that you can be whatever you put your mind to be.
Absolutely.
No matter where you come from,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. And you can be great.
Absolutely.
And Rise, and we started working, and I mean we've done great work.
Yeah.
That organization, small organization, has done amazing work in the country over the years. And you know, right now Dr. Venus Cherry is our chairman. As you know, Dr. Bird and I evolve.
I gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
But we are there, and
Yeah.
Rise continues. And we got deep into the anti-violence campaign about 15 years ago, right after Rise was starting. And here I am today. And I need to thank people. I need to thank Ninja for opening my mind, introducing me to people and to a life that maybe I might not have seen and understood.
Absolutely.
I need to really thank Betty Jean, who took me also into places where I would otherwise never have been and seen.
Wow.
You know, and then I want to really thank St. Lucian people. You know, I don't know if the people in the higher society here truly understand
Okay.
that the people in our communities, what we call the poorer people, the ghettos, whatever you want to call them, whatever terms you want to use, marginalized people, right? If they understood that for us to progress and develop as a country, transformation must happen.
Wow.
Mindset must change. And the people that I speak to in the ghettos understand.
Wow.
And are ready. Now, the question is, when will the rest of us be ready to allow the opportunities to happen, the doors to open, the transformation to truly happen? Back to what I said when Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's what it is. I tell people, Dr. Tanji, that for me, the two root causes of violence, inequality and psychological, or if you prefer, mental health trauma.
For sure.
Psychological trauma.
For sure. Absolutely.
Both of which are way too high in St. Lucia. Lots of trauma, from historical to adverse childhood experiences, the way children are raised, to the ongoing traumas of life.
For sure.
Which the inequality has created.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's surely time. My mother used to say, Stephen, enlightened self-interest is how you must live.
Come on.
So she says, as she used to say, of all my mother's children, I love myself the best. So you must have self-interest. You must look after yourself, right? Right, Dr. Tanji?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Absolutely.
But there's an enlightened form of self-interest where when I look after my brother, I also look after myself. You know, because if you elevate, I elevate.
Come on.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I elevate holistically, not only with materially, because we do better work and prosper together.
For sure.
But spiritually too.
But spiritually.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that is where we need to go. And so that's when I urge St. Lucia, all St. Lucians, to truly address injustice and inequality wherever you see it.
Yes.
That is why we must do it. Not because it is a good thing to do for them, as you say it, you know. It's a good thing to do for you, for us, for all of us together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah?
Didn't I tell you that you were in for a treat? Didn't I tell you that? So what we're going to do, normally we would wait till like the third half of the show, but we're going to open up the phone lines as we have this fireside chat. How about that? 451-9788, 451-9788. We will take your calls on air, and we are actually, they got me all over the place, but I'm interactive with WhatsApp and Facebook, I think. So bear with me if I'm a little slow, but to be in the presence of someone who loves beyond borders. You know, it's like
Gotcha.
doctors beyond borders.
It is,
you
isn't
know,
it?
it
Love beyond
is
borders. I love that.
absolutely. You like that?
I like that.
All right, then we'll do something with a T-shirt. Don't you dare put that on a T-shirt before we do it. But I get it now, and I liken what you're saying to my reason for being here.
Yes.
The transformation when you tell someone that, you know, you're better than what you're going through. What you're experiencing right now is a temporary moment. Do not let that define the rest of your life.
Correct.
But it starts here.
That's right.
The mindset has to change.
For sure.
And then everything else it'll happen.
For sure.
So you're minding your business, right?
Yeah.
And then you get the call. Now, prior to Rise St. Lucia, you did something in government, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Talk on that.
In fact, I was in Rise St. Lucia when I think you I did a number of things in government.
Okay.
But when we spoke, we were talking about being a senator.
Yes.
And I was appointed independent senator by the governor,
Wow.
Dame Paulette Louise, beautiful lady. Powerful solution, lovely lady.
I love you. Yes.
lady.
Oh, yes, she is.
Right?
She is.
So she appointed me as an independent senator from 2011 to 2016.
Right.
And that was a very interesting time. I learned that our parliamentary system does not deliver what it's supposed to deliver for the people.
Wow.
I learned that our democracy is not a genuine democracy, right? It's it fails
Yeah.
at truly giving the people the voice and giving the people the representation that
Wow.
they deserve.
Yeah.
And however, I learned that there are good people.
For sure.
Make no mistake, there are good
Absolutely.
people. But what we need to do, and I became a real advocate for constitutional reform based on that.
Really?
Yeah, because, and I'll tell you why, Dr. Tonji.
Yes.
I believe that our Westminster system of government or governance that we have, which is this parliamentary democracy with political parties, is not the model that works for us.
Wow.
We're
That's major, what
Yeah.
you're saying. You know that, right?
I don't think it works for us.
Okay.
And I prefer, I want to see a more representative, a more accountable, a more developmentally issue-focused, problem solution-based focused approach rather than a power struggle between one side and another.
Wow.
You with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. I think we've got a call. Yes. Hello, you're on air with Dr. Tonji and Dr. King.
Thank you, Dr. King, for being on my Nana show.
Oh, is that Kaden?
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you, Kaden. Thank you so very much for taking time out of your computer time to tune into the show. And you're right, Dr. King is amazing, and we are grateful that he's here. Thank you so very much, baby.
You're welcome.
All right.
I'm going to watch to the very end.
Out of the mouth of babes, right?
That's love.
That's love.
That's love beyond.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
What I love about children,
Yes, sir.
children, because I've had 5 children,
Yes.
and children teach us that unconditional love,
Yes, they do.
because they teach us what it is to truly love more than you love yourself.
That's it.
Because you will do anything for your child. You'll
You
put
better
your
believe
life
it.
down for
Yes,
your
sir.
child.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And there's not many things that teach us that.
Right.
So children in my life,
Yeah.
have been my greatest teacher.
Oh, wow.
And I lost one child in an accident.
I'm so
I
sorry.
lost a 7-year-old years
so
ago.
sorry, sir.
And
My condolences.
that did something to my brain.
For sure.
Talk about mindsets.
For sure.
Yeah. I lost my mind for a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but when I came back, I think, somewhat different.
Gotcha.
And the certain meanings in life and certain things in life that people fuss about,
Yes.
you realize that's
Trivial.
trivial.
Absolutely.
You haven't yet experienced the real problems. And so I really began to empathize very much so, far better with people who had lost their loved ones.
Absolutely.
You begin to truly understand what that means.
For you.
When you haven't been in that space, you haven't been in that,
You don't know.
mourning and grieving space,
Absolutely.
it's hard to explain.
I too, one of the reasons I am here is that I lost a son as well. I say he was my son because he was with us for 10 years before he married my daughter. And so he was my baby too.
Gotcha.
And kidney failure, diabetes. And her quest to get us out of that frame of mind brought us here. She wanted to do something for her mama, so she brought us here. And I fell in love with the culture. I fell in love with the people of St. Lucia.
Oh, nice.
And I'm thinking, oh, Daddy, I call him Daddy, can I please move to St. Lucia? So you are an inspiration. You are. You motivate people to do more. And you're absolutely right. You remind me of the scripture that says, to whom much is given, much is required.
Correct.
And you literally now could be sitting on your laurels right now. Yeah, you could be. And you've done very well in your practice or what have you. But why is this so important to you to go into those communities that are blighted? For lack of a better word.
Well, you know, I get energy and I get love out of it. It's something. It's hard to explain, Dr. Tunchi. It's hard to explain, but I enjoy that work. I get joy out of being with people that are real.
Come on.
And have real problems.
Yeah,
And want to have real solutions.
that's it.
And that's why I said that the transformation is much easier for the people that I'm speaking to that have real problems to transform than it is for some of those that don't have these real problems anymore. Because who feels it knows it, Lord. And you know, and they are, I feel it. And I feel one of the earlier, I think when I was talking to you, I was saying that one of the skills that has developed from me as a light-skinned St. Lucian,
Yes, sir.
a light-skinned mixed-race person, I grew up with privilege.
For sure.
But that privilege also came with a cut,
Wow.
which is that you don't quite fit.
Wow.
You don't quite fit.
Ha.
Right? So I used to see everybody, both sides. I used to see white, I used to see black, call.
All right. I love that story. Hang on. All right, you're on air with Dr. Tunji and Dr. King.
Hello, good night.
Hi.
Hi.
Ninja.
How'd you know that voice? It's this Ninja Dad.
Hi, good night.
What's up?
Good night, Dr. King. Good night, Dr. Tonji.
Good night, sir.
Jonathan.
Yeah, man, Papa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, I want to call and give the Papa his kudos, you know. I want to give him all his flowers, you know, while he's alive and stuff, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to say that this man is the greatest man I've ever met in my life. That
Oh, wow.
This man has paved my way.
Hi.
And this man has showed me a lot, you know.
Yes, sir.
And even now, as I proclaim him as my father, you know, because he has taught me so many things.
Wow.
I mean, it's a journey that I cannot explain. It's unexplainable.
Yes, sir.
I mean, from what he has taught me from the beginning to where I am at now, I mean, I'm a field marshal on the ground, and he's an expert in the doctor's field and, you know, them kind of science and things. So I want to give him his kudos and give him his praises for all what he has done over the years. Even whilst I was incarcerated, and he still kept the flag flying with he and Dr. Bird.
Yes, sir.
And even with the ghetto generals, I see them as ghetto generals, you know, T2 and Tucker and Betty,
Yes, sir.
and a lot more names that I can remember. He has taught them and developed them into something different, into something more positive. And if today or tomorrow he closes his eye, I know, well, boy, yeah, we did a good job.
Oh, wow.
We're still doing a good job.
You are.
And we're still inspiring in spite of the negatives. And he has built an armor around his soldiers, his foot soldiers, I call myself. And yeah, man, I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing much more about my Dr. King, you know. But big up. I mean, the two of us sometimes we just argue. We have our differences.
Yeah.
But I must say, my brother, you're a good teacher. I mean, to get a man like me out of the ghetto.
Come on.
And to get my attention for us to be where we are now with Rise and Lucia. Yeah, man, that's greatness. That's greatness. And just the fact that you got me off the track that I was before and you used my mind into something powerful. And we compiled our mind together as even more powerful, a powerful entity. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Great man. Nelson Mandela. Big up Dr. Chauncey.
Oh,
keep on doing your work, you know, and big up Dr. King again.
Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you for calling.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
as I say, boy, in this life, there are special people. When my life is told, you there, my brother. You there, my son. We together.
Yes, my papa.
All right?
A lot of people don't know the ins and outs. A lot of people don't know the behind the scenes. But that man will sacrifice himself. He'll stay hungry. He'll stay without just to see a smile on somebody else's face. And that is one of the greatest lessons I learned from Dr. King, you know. Always be selfless no matter what. Always willing to sacrifice yourself for the people, for the betterment, of the cause and the purpose. And Rise is 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
And I cannot find the words to explain how accomplished I feel, you know, in the presence of Dr. King and Dr. Bird and Dr. Cherry, you know.
Amen.
Big up. Big up.
Yeah,
great man.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank
absolutely.
you.
We love you so very much. And
love you, Dr. Thorne.
What you're doing is amazing. And we're just getting, well, I'm just getting started with you. So you're just going to kick me out the group. How about that? I love you so very much. Thank you, man, for all you're doing. Absolutely.
Let me not take somebody else's chance to give Dr. King his credence, you know.
Absolutely.
Yes, big up.
All right, baby.
Yeah, man,
have an amazing evening.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love this man so much.
Yeah.
I do. Thank you so very much for what you're doing in their lives. Seriously, thank you.
Well, hey, it goes both ways.
Absolutely.
I give, I get.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's life. It's an exchange.
That's
and Jonathan has given me a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, I've given Jonathan. We've had difficult times. We've had complicated times.
For sure.
We've had deep conversations.
Yeah.
He's a person that I have spent more time talking to than many, and similarly to me. And I have learned from him.
Wow.
Just as he indicates he's learned from me.
Absolutely.
So you know, that's life.
That's life.
You know, and just when we were talking about growing up and being and how I found myself, where I find myself.
Right.
And, you know, so I grew up with this, there's the black, there's the white. How do you fit? Where do you fit? You don't fit. And that gave me certain angst. But remember, I always had my mom.
Yeah.
Who did not fit in this society. She's a white, non-Catholic woman.
Oh,
Didn't
boy.
fit.
Don't rush
Woman.
that. I can't rush that. I'm so sorry, Dr. King. Get my language here, sir. All right. Would you stay tuned? We're going to get into that because what I'm discovering, and you said it best, oftentimes there's colorism and it's not fair. And we're going to uncover that and shed light on that bad boy so that it won't rear its ugly head anymore. How about that?
Our best.
All right, stay tuned. We're going to be right back. Thank you so much for being here. Be right back. This is Dr. Tanji. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Dr. Tanji. We're going to do life together.
You are absolutely amazing. A breath of fresh air, a true light in the darkness, and I am so grateful for you because you have you are amazing, and you truly have added so much value to my life that I'm beyond grateful that God has allowed our paths to cross. And I feel honored to be able to make this video and to talk about you and give you your flowers and just mention the numerous ways that you have significantly impacted my life, because you have. And I don't know what my life would have been like without you, and I don't think I want to because you have planted seeds in me that have impacted the person that I am today, and I thank you for that. And you've also planted seeds that help catapult my relationship with Christ. You've shown me how to walk out being a kingdom citizen in a world that, isn't necessarily conducive for that. And you've shown me what it's like to share the love of Christ, to be that light, and to share that joy and that peace and that comfort. And I thank you for that, because it gets hard, but you are such a warrior and such a true inspiration that you've helped me find the tools to make that possible. And I'm forever grateful. I love you so much. Thank you for everything.
This is Dr. Tanji. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Dr. Tanji. We're going to do life together. This is Dr. Tanji. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Dr. Tanji. We're going to do life together. And I'm going to say thank you for supporting this program. And just, you have no earthly idea how excited and happy I am, and to be able to realize a dream come true. And it's because of people like yourself that makes this beautiful country what it is. Thank you. We've got Deborah Guin that's watching from Columbus, Mississippi. Hello, Deborah. Yeah, she supports the show. She says, Dr. King, I'm so proud he got you to see the world as it is and encouraging others to strive and give their life to God. How about that?
Yes.
So thank you for that, Deborah. Don't forget, we've got the phone lines open at 451-9788. So as we dialogue, please feel free to chime in. That's what we're here for. It's not us saying, hey, this is what you need to be doing. This is us saying, come, let's get it together collectively. Yes? You were saying something prior to the break that is so fundamentally important that I didn't want to rush over it.
Gotcha.
And you talked about your knowing that you're privileged.
Yes.
A lot of people wouldn't have said that, Doc. I'm so sorry. They just, they would not have. They probably would have thought it, but dare not say it. Why is that so important for you to be as expressive as that is, and being able to go into the communities that you serve?
Let me tell you, I understood. I was born into a family that could give me the support that I needed, education and whatever. Because really and truly, education is critical,
Yes,
to your negotiating a successful life.
for sure.
Right? My mother was a teacher. My father was a doctor. My father, he used to have property down in Canaries.
Okay.
Every time we went down there, I used to go down there with him every week. And there were times that he would tell me, Stephen, see that young man there? understand that we are privileged to be born in a certain circumstance.
Wow.
Because a lot of your trajectory in life can unfortunately be determined by where you are born and the family that you're born into. If your mindset is not one that can transcend or take you to that place, that better place.
Right.
If the opportunities don't present themselves to you, and if you have a mindset that does not see those opportunities, and if you have a society that is going to lock you out because you come from a particular place, a particular family, so you're born in a particular ghetto or a particular family, and you try to get a job, okay? You'll find doors closed. You try to get credit from a bank to organize your business, you will find difficulty with that. So you see, we have to understand that inequality becomes structural in the society, and people who have not have find it very difficult to get on a pathway to having.
Right.
And so I understood that. So much as I understood, I was saying about, I understood stigma and discrimination even in my own life, being, as I said, a young boy who did not fit into one side or the other. So I understood what it is not to fit. But of course, I appreciated the privilege. And because I had that privilege, Dr. Tonji, I worked on my mind.
Come on.
I studied hard. And I did well at school.
Yeah.
And I made it through university and beyond.
Right.
I did what I had to do to get where I am. Yes, I worked hard.
For sure.
And I've reaped that benefit. And you know, I would love every single St. Lucian from any part of this country, from any family, to have those opportunities, to get educated, to be able to transcend, get to university. I remember we did a RISE under the Illinois Institute of Technology. We got these scholarships. I don't know if people remember that. And we had like almost 200 or so scholarships coming out of Illinois Institute, right? For all the STEM type of degrees, right? Engineering, computer science, etc., etc. And we offered them. We said we're going to offer this to the best.
Okay.
For coming out of Sir Arthur Lewis, but there were many of the best who could not afford. And then we had to argue, because it was a 75% scholarship, we had to argue for the 25% to be underwritten so they could get a loan for the 25% so they could go. But many of them don't have the ability. They don't have land, they don't have the security. So we're asking the government for that. Right? Ninja, maybe remember, because Ninja was actually incarcerated at the time. He called me, because in the middle of this was a hot political battle, getting the government to underwrite. So that the poorer people could get this access to education. Because remember, these are youths that have done well in our school system. They've got to a relatively high level, but they can't get to the next level because the financial hurdle is too high. Right? So we fought that battle. I remember Ninja calling me from prison and in the heat of it, and he said, Papa, going through the fire, Papa, but don't worry, go through the fire.
Come on.
Because it was hot. It was a very hot time. But we got through. And I mean, many went away. They went to university. Many of them now have big jobs in the United States, by the way.
Is that right?
Some have come back.
Okay.
Right? But I would love to see every St. Lucian. In fact, I had a dream at that time.
Come on, Dr.
Yeah, I had a dream at that time.
Come on,
I remember
Dr.
telling
King.
them, you know, can you imagine that we would have the engineering company of Wilton Yard and the architectural company of Bruceville, because, you know, we have people there that have gone to do this. And can you imagine the little children watching you all going on that plane, knowing that you all are going to get these degrees, and you all are going to and then they get inspired to work harder in their school, so they will get the opportunity. Your little brother and sister, you know? All that kind of stuff. And it didn't quite happen as much as I would have loved it to happen. But the chance for inspiration is not lost.
I was about to say that.
It's not lost.
It's not.
Even tonight we speak.
Yes.
And I want to urge every St. Lucian. You see that? I mean, Malcolm X says it, right? I mean, the passport to your future. Education.
Education.
That's the passport to the future.
Yes, sir.
Now, in St. Lucia, too often what we're finding is not only is there not good access to good education, also people are opting out. A lot of our youths today are dropping out of schools and going into the fast life of 5 bags and drugs and other types of things, not understanding that in 20 years' time, where will they be? And not understanding, and our society and they not coming together to truly get the right education to everybody so that they can make it. That's part of the injustice.
Yeah.
Education nowadays is in fact a human right.
You better believe it is.
It's,
Yes,
it's
sir.
not a
Yes, it
privilege.
is.
You know, I was privileged to have education.
Right.
But it should not be that way. It should be your right. You come from Grass Street, you come from Bruceville, you come from Westall. You should have every child.
Wow.
And every child should be pushed to that. The communities should be such that they can do their homework safely and properly. There shouldn't be noisy communities where they don't have.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I do.
And and who is supposed to make that happen? All of us.
All of us.
We can blame government.
Yep.
We can blame a parent. We can blame a community.
Right.
But the truth is, we all in the same boat.
We all play
It's
a
little
part.
St. Lucia. We all in the same place.
Right.
We all should be on that same developmental journey of transformation that we all need to be on
Right.
together. And we must understand that education
Right.
is the primary force that's going to make that happen.
Wow.
So let us rally behind. That's why we were involved in that initiative, which became so political.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it should never have been political. Why would the politicians make a fuss over this? Why?
Dr. King. Yeah. You're getting something started here, sir. But I get it. I really do. And your passion, I get it now. You really are an advocate. You're an agent of change.
I would love to be.
But you are. Because I think Ninja Dan said it best. He did. Right before he called in, he says, big up, okay, to my mentor, Dr. Stephan King. He has paved my way to another level of consciousness. Do you know how difficult it is for someone who is so akin to doing things their way?
Yeah.
And then someone like yourself come along, and you're saying, but I got you.
Yeah.
I care.
Yeah.
That's the first step of
True.
people doing even anything.
True.
Is that I need to know that you value me, you see me.
Sure.
And that's what you've done.
Yeah.
So when you're going into those communities and you're doing what you're doing, you are Papa to a
Yeah.
lot of them.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It's humbling.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's frightening. Because sometimes it comes with a kind of responsibility, does it
Come on.
not?
Come on. That's what love is. Love is
Love
a
is that.
responsibility.
Love, you're right. And you know, love is such a beautiful thing. That's why you asked me, what do I get out of it?
Yes, sir.
It's love. And there's nothing more powerful in this life than love. All right? You got to love, and by loving, you will get love.
You better believe it.
And that's the only light. Again, back to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. The only thing that can put hate out of this world is love. You know?
Is love.
It's love.
Absolutely.
And we have way too much hate and anger
Come
in
on.
our communities
Come on.
and our society. And love is the only answer, the only prescription. But love is tough and love is difficult.
Yes, it is.
Love is not sentimental. Love is, doing that hard work,
Yep.
sitting there
Absolutely.
and helping, and then making the calls, going here, getting up, trying to open the door, kick the door down if you have to
Come
have to
on.
kick it down.
Yes, sir.
But you know, to make it happen. And that's what I pray for.
Yes.
That's what I work for.
For sure.
Right?
Yes.
My best friend, Dr. Bird, does that too. She's the one who really mentored me now.
Oh my goodness.
In that. And she's very, so many of these children know her. In fact, she teases me. Sometimes the little children say, when they see me in the community, they say, Dr. Bird, Dr. Bird. But I'm not Dr. Bird, I'm Dr.
For
King.
sure.
But they associate Dr. King and Dr. Bird, so they call me Dr.
Absolutely.
Bird. But I still told her some time ago, and she told me, oh, they've given you an upgrade.
Of course they have.
Yeah, they gave you an upgrade. And that's true, though.
Wow.
Because she also mentored me to understand and to see that power of love and what it can do.
Wow.
And you know, we do violence interventions, right?
Okay.
I remember, I'll not forget Betty at a particular intervention with this one really got me. A man who, yes, for want of a better word, let's say he's a bad man, for want of a better word.
Okay.
And we are talking, and she tells him, society has judged us. They say we are not good. But we know our heart.
Wow.
We are pure. Our hearts are pure.
Yeah.
You know your heart is pure. Do nothing wrong.
Come on.
Do what you...
Wow.
You understand?
Yes, I do.
So the violence that we are talking about, stop. Because our hearts are pure. Let us understand that.
Yeah.
And you know, I saw that man stop and put his head down and lift back up and say, yes, boss lady.
Come on.
Yes, boss lady.
Wow.
And
Impact.
now that is love.
That's it.
That is love. That is care. That is transformation.
It is.
Because here you have somebody thinking violence,
Right.
who then recalibrates and
Yeah.
says, "Okay, I'll find another way."
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's so. When I see things and I feel things like that, and I see and feel that
Yeah.
love, drink it, breathe it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that I have to be so grateful.
Wow.
I would never experience that in the mortuary, right?
No, you would not. Sorry, but you're the way you speak on this. They can't help but feel the love that you literally are just oozing. You're giving it freely. What has been some of the difficulties when you are faced with, I don't want to say the bad people, but the ones that are using their hands instead of their mindset for other things?
I got you.
What are you doing to assist those who, for lack of a better word, maybe think, I don't even need any help?
Right. First of all, when you want to do the violence interruption, the first thing you have to have is a credible messenger. So for instance, maybe I'm becoming a credible messenger now, but I was not before. So in other words, people like Ninja, Betty, Tiba, these people are credible messengers to their people.
For sure.
They're leaders and things. So if they bring me and they say, here's Dr. King. Now what do I bring? I think I bring, because I'm a system guy, right?
Yes.
I'm a successful in the system guy.
For sure.
So people who are marginalized and into the violent life, right, will not necessarily see people like me as being with them or one of them. And I understand that. But they will see me in the negotiation sometimes as the person, an opportunity. One, I'm an opportunity for them.
For sure.
I may open up some doors, may make certain things happen. But then when we start to speak, they may understand that I have a little bit more to offer in terms of love and understanding.
Absolutely.
Of them and where they are.
Yeah.
And when you are faced with people who you say do not want to transform, it's a matter of having that conversation and worming into the brain. Betty in particular is brilliant at using words that open up the mind of people, right?
Yes.
And I just walk through there with her.
Oh, for sure you
Okay?
do. Yes, sir.
And once you open up somebody's mind, you can then begin to tinker and do the transformation and to change that mindset and create a different mindset. Now, what I want to tell people is everybody can be successful.
Come on.
And everybody wants to be successful.
Yes, they
Everybody's got a gift. Everybody has an opportunity. Everybody can do it. But what we have to do is A, make you understand, and then B, get the system to open up for you.
Aye.
Right?
Right there. System.
That's right.
Ay. That's a lot to unpack, Doctor.
Yeah,
You're not gonna rush on that, all right? We'll be right back because we just will. The EP say we got to go for a commercial break. That gummit. Stay tuned. We're going to come back and we're going to talk systems because he's absolutely right. He's a systematic man and there's a way that he has to do things. But you're going to be able to glean from this. Please stay tuned. Be right back. All right. So go get your ting. Is it ting? Go get your ting and come on back and join me. All right. Stay tuned.
My dearest Tanji, You have been a person who has impacted my life in so many ways. You have added such value and love to my life, and I hold you in high regard to that. I say thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for showing up when the chips were down. You have been my rock, my sister, my prayer partner, and my friend. Thank you for sharing your children. We have a special son together, Morgan. But you have also shared Taisha and Tyrone with me. And I love them as if they were my own. My daughter Megan loves you as well. And she calls you Mama T. And I'm sure you know that. Well, people would wonder, how are we related? And how do we share such immeasurable love? So let me tell you. I know this is unheard of love. And I wish everyone could experience the love that we share. We are family. Tunji was my husband's first wife. He is now deceased. But when I say this woman and her family stood by me and mine. Whew. When Max Scott, who we refer to as Terry, because that's always been his nickname, when he departed this life, who was my husband, Tunji's first husband, she came to my house with support in tow. Tunji, Stacy, and Taisha. We put the devil on notice that night. We prayed for strength, understanding that surpasses all others, and healing. That night, God delivered. He gave me what I wanted, and He gave me what I needed. Years ago, when we met, we bonded right away. Never an unkind word from her. Never a falling out. Never across anything. I have called on you, Tunji, so many times, and you've been there every time. I'll never forget the calls, the prayers in the wee hours of the morning for anything, the financial support, the calls just to keep me in the loop, the birthday calls, the songs, of course, all of our texts, and the visits. They've all been special. And you, my friend, sister, I love you. Tunji Scott, my hat is off to you, and I love you forever. Till we speak again. Take care.
Hey, it's your girl, Dr. Tanji. You know, from the Talk to Tanji show. Are you ready to maximize your business exposure? Of course you are. Why not consider placing an ad right here with me on the Talk to Tanji show on DBS? You already know who it is, your girl, Dr. Tanji. And I'm with
Shama
Shama. And Shama, where do you watch the show?
on DBS.
And
So most times on my phone.
Really? Tell me why you watch the show.
It's a lot. I'm not able to say, honestly, I'm not able to say.
She's lost in words.
But you're a role model. You're just you're a nice person, and then you push, you tell, you give us something to live on, something to go. So that's why I love you.
You make me cry. I swear you, I didn't make you say it.
No, you didn't. I'm honest. That's why I love you. You always tell us to stay. You give us positive feedback. So, yeah.
All right. Watch out for Shama when you're up in the north, all right? She's over and tell them where they can
Avicii restaurant. Bye.
This is Dr. Tanji. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Dr. Tanji. We're going to do life together. And we are back. Have you had an amazing evening this evening? I don't know about you, but oh my God, I'm just at a loss of words here. I feel like I've been in a master class and the teacher is saying, but you got this, you got this. And I'm saying, but oh my God, how? This show means so very, very much to me. It does. And with the amount of folk that are tuning in, people like Penn Joseph, hi, Mr. Joseph, that says, one of the greatest human beings St. Lucia has ever seen. Dr. King, we love you.
No,
Thank
Penn,
you for your
Penn,
existence. And people like Solange James that's watching, good night. Good night, my lovely. The first time I would hear people say good night, I'm thinking, no, I'm not over yet. But I get it now. Also, Francis Natrum, love is a gift from God. You got that right, baby.
For
it
sure.
is. And is it Vacto Studios, SLU is watching. Thank you for watching. We are very happy that you are hanging out with us for the evening. Dr. King, Dr. King, Dr. King. Talk to me, sir, when you are juxtaposing mindsets.
Yes.
And you're teaching that it really doesn't matter where you come from.
That's right.
Doesn't matter what you've done. What really matters now is that you understand that you're loved, you exist. What has been one of the hallmarks of the system, because we were talking systems, that you are incorporating now with Rise St. Lucia?
So what we're trying to do is get this system to open up and provide the opportunity, jobs, business. I actually believe that business transformation works to change our communities from being locked off, marginalized communities and opening them up so people can have businesses coming in or create their businesses so that they can have the business transformation. Because let's be blunt, livelihood.
Yes.
We run on money.
Yep.
The system runs on money.
For sure.
So you need money.
Absolutely.
So if you don't provide opportunities for people to make money in the mainstream legal system, they're going to find another way to make it. Because they're going to make it.
Will. Absolutely.
Right? So that is what we are trying to do. That's what we're trying to negotiate. We're trying to argue. We're trying to create in whichever ways we can to get the system to do that. And also, as you quite rightly said, people meet them where they are, understanding where they are, respecting them.
Absolutely.
You see, respect, getting them connected into the mainstream and giving them the guidance these are the tools that you can such that they can realize, as you said in your last question that you give in your book, their destiny.
Absolutely.
And you have to look at the person and say, what do you want to be? What's your destiny? What can you be? Do you have the confidence in yourself to be what you are?
Yes, sir.
What you can be.
Absolutely.
Because, here you are. You've reached into this space. But everything else is possible once you have that mindset.
Right.
So that's the job we are trying to create.
For sure.
Right? Now, it's not easy.
No, it's not.
And so we should have a thing of saying, don't worry with me, his mind burned. Right? I don't believe that any mind is ever burned. We are doctors together again, and we understand the plasticity of the brain.
Yes, sir.
How that brain can be transformed and can change.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to continue doing things the same way you did things and live the same way that you think you have to live.
Right. Absolutely.
It can change. You can change. You can make it happen. Right?
Right.
So that's what I see as our job is, first of all, getting that mindset then bringing the resources to allow that mindset now to actualize.
Absolutely.
And if we don't do that, Dr. Tanji, we are in a lot of trouble in the land.
I agree.
Yeah?
I agree. Absolutely.
And every single person has a talent and has a gift. Somebody said that, what's that? Love is a gift from God.
Yes.
But love is the way to God. Not just a gift. Love is the way, the only way.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And no matter what somebody has done.
Right.
Right? And the scriptures are clear on this. No matter what you have done.
Yeah.
Love and forgiveness.
Yep.
We can forgive.
Yes, sir.
We can love you. We can
Yes,
forgive you, and we can get you on that path.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And so
You're right.
that is what we that's what I try to do.
Okay.
That's what I try to bring.
Okay.
I wish I could do more. I wish I had all the resources in the world.
I think you're doing real good, sir.
you know.
I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I don't want you to discount what you're doing. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of tenacity. It literally takes a lot of selflessness to get up in the middle of the night or whenever that call is made for you to say, here I am.
Yeah.
So
Got
thank you for that. Seriously, I understand what you're saying. I do, but you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're not talking about it. You're not saying I'm waiting on government and I love government, okay? But you're literally rewriting laws and you're not representing a constituent.
No.
You understand
Got
what
you.
I'm saying?
Got you.
So what you're doing is paramount, not only for this generation, but for the next generation and 5 generations after that.
Yeah, it's so crucial.
Bingo.
Think of those young. You know what I've also noticed something. I was about the unconditional love for children.
Yes.
One of my friends, now deceased, Danny Charlemagne, known as Danny Cat, from the area called the Slums, was a man that was in the transformation. He had started that process. And what he told me his motivation was, he was showing me his 2 little daughters that he had with him at the time.
For sure.
And he told me, you know, something, dog, I must make a better life
Wow.
for them. I don't want them to have to go through what I
Come
went
on.
through.
Yes, sir.
And all of us, and I remember Christopher Hunt,
Yeah.
at a education forum, reform forum one time, saying that our mission as adults is to make a better life for
Come
our
on.
children.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So, St. Lucians, we have to ask ourselves, are we creating a better life for our children? Are we giving them a better St. Lucia? Are we creating a system that's opening up for every child
Right.
to have that opportunity? Are we doing that or not? If we're not doing that, we're failing.
Yes, sir.
So, our job, Dr. Tanji,
Yes.
is a call to conscience.
Right? Call to conscience.
Which is another Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King
Come on,
phrase.
come on.
Call to, there's a whole
Yes,
book
sir.
on the call to conscience.
Yes, it is. I've got it at home.
Right, there you go. Call to conscience.
Yes, sir.
Because our society must become conscious
Yeah.
and have a conscience about the children and the next generation
Absolutely.
that is coming.
Absolutely.
Look into the future and see and exercise. Again, the Bible says, "And a child shall lead."
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what has to happen now, in my view. Because that's the one place that I have noticed we get that love. When I want to get that love,
Yep.
Right? Ghetto has love.
Yes, it does.
But when you go there and you evoke that love of children,
Yes, sir.
that then automatically leads the way to transformation.
Yes, it does. I'm
Okay.
a living witness of that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got schools over in Ancillary. Hello. That when I'm there, it's just, they take my breath away. The innocence of them and the unconditional love. And they're not asking for anything other than for you to say, I matter.
Yes. Yes.
And you're doing that.
Yes.
You mentioned business.
Yes, I did.
I love businesses. I believe
Me
that
too.
is one of the gateways to literally changing the trajectory of your life. Education, of
100%.
course, but business, being a business owner.
100.
How important is it for you, founding member of Rise St. Lucia,
Yes.
to go into communities and tell them, listen, yes, you can have a business as a fisherman.
Yes.
Yes, you can have a business as a seamstress. How important is that for you?
It's crucial. And in fact, like, we have some plans now for the Chaussee Road. And they're about to unfold. So the Wilton Yard area, also called the Graveyard,
Oh, yes.
Right?
Familiar with
We've
that.
got some connections for the Tourism Enhancement Fund and the St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Association, who are now partners with us.
Wow.
And Sandals partners with us to create opportunities and environments for businesses to thrive.
Come on.
So on the Chaussee Road, we want to start with Wilton Yard.
Okay.
And renovate it and make it a place where tourists will come. And they can have eat and drink, and they can buy handmade leather and macrame, because they've got those skills right there in the Wilton Yard.
Absolutely.
All right, and we're hoping that in time to come, there's a nice building there. Who knows, an Airbnb can happen. Right? So what begins to happen is that the Wilton Yard comes alive.
Yes, sir.
With economic opportunity.
Absolutely.
Similarly down by Grass Street. So we in the conversation now by the museum, and Ronald Richardson, Ricky, made a proposal to create a space where people can vend. You can sit and eat and things are right next. And we can also have performances.
Absolutely.
Because there's the Derek Walcott Museum right there, the Derek Walcott House.
For sure.
So if we can begin to do that, and we can begin to also create products and environments, shall I say, that allow business products to be developed throughout this country, then people have opportunities.
Come on.
And so I believe,
sir.
I'm a businessman. I run my own business, as you know.
Yes, sir.
And I believe that business is a massive force for transformation.
You better believe it. Absolutely,
right?
it is.
So that's what we want to bring into the communities.
Wow.
We down in Bruceville and in Westall and Martin Luther King Street. Yes, they've got businesses there already, but we want to make it even more so.
Absolutely.
And that's why I tell people, stop the violence. Cease all violence, because violence stops business. People not coming in the community if they believe it's violent.
No, they're not.
So you have to stop the violence, cease all fire, and open the doors and open your arms to allow people to feel free to come in. How is my lady Chrissy in Grass Street supposed to be able to get the ladies to come and do the braids and do their nails if they're afraid to come down into Grass Street?
They're not going to do it.
They're not going to come.
No.
So that is why all of us, residents in the communities, have to understand that and open up. But then again, we, back to the mindset of the higher society,
For sure.
have to open it up. That's why I love people like Mr. Anderson and Mr. Aziz, who one SLHT, the other one Sandals, because what they're doing, their mindset is, we buy it. We agree with you.
Come on.
Let's make it happen. Because they have some resources that they can make it happen.
Yes, sir.
So, there's hope.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot of hope.
Yeah.
We just have to make it and keep on pushing. And even when we get depressed and tired, you know what I mean, as happens?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Which was my segue. What keeps you going? I get it, Dr. King. I'm hook, line, and sunk in. You make me want to pull off this dress and put on some jeans and say, let's go.
Yeah.
What is it that keeps you doing what you're doing with such fervor?
Well, we said the love.
Yes.
And I have a beautiful wife who gives me great support.
Wonderful.
She doesn't demand a lot of me, and she gives me what I need.
Yes, sir.
Right? And most importantly, peace. I've been married 32 years.
32 years. Do you hear that, right?
Yeah,
32 years. Wow.
So when I go home, my home is peaceful, comfortable.
Yeah.
I can rest.
Amen.
She gives me rest. And
wow.
And that's a rejuvenation.
That's beautiful. That's a hallmark. Hashtag hallmark. Wow. That is something that you're giving away as well. You're giving the little lady that is on the side of the road, you're giving her peace.
Yes.
Because you care.
Yes.
You're giving the gentleman that says, man, I got to do it for my kids. You're giving him rest because he can depend on you to do what you say you're going to do.
Yes.
You're literally making disciples. You do know that, right? You do know that.
I really hope so, because
you are.
Because one of these days, someday, who knows when,
yes,
I'll not be here. And I would love to know that at least where I walked, there were others, and they do better than me.
Yes, sir.
And they understand, and they pick up that baton, they do even better. And sometimes, that's what we got. So I mean, I hope that's what happens. I pray that's what happens.
Oh my gosh, dadgummit, what time is it? Is it that time already? Dadgummit. Wow. I I'm not going to cry. I'm just not going to do it. Nope, I ain't doing it because I got on mascara this evening. But you remind me of a man that I get to read about and study every day, who he didn't care if, and hear me when I say this, especially my religious people, I love you guys so much, but he didn't care if she had been caught in adultery.
No.
He just loved her right where she was.
Yeah.
You see?
I got it.
You're incredible.
Thank you.
You really are
Thank you.
incredible. And our people here in St. Lucia, because I'm a part of it, you guys just got to throw me out this country. I ain't going nowhere. But we get it.
Yeah.
And you make us want to do better. You make us want to go to bed early and get up early and do exactly what it is that we were called to do.
Yeah.
Everybody, and you said it beautifully, and I've got a little book, my shameless plug here, Journaling
Go right
with
ahead.
Dr. Tanji, deciding to move forward. We've got purpose.
Yeah. That's good.
We've got purpose. And the manufacturer would not make us. He wouldn't create us in his image and after his own likeness if he didn't place purpose in us.
Very true.
Untapped potential is
Very
what
true.
we're walking around with.
Very true.
I believe in business. I do. I believe in education. That's why my little grandsons have a publishing company at 5 and 7. Not to say, hey, look at me, but I honestly believe God will judge me by what they do.
Correct.
You see?
I got you.
So my time, I've asked him to help me number my days so I don't mess up. I don't squander them.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. What you're doing is needful.
Yeah.
You can't do it by yourself, and you know that.
Surely,
Yeah, that's why there's a
surely.
Dr. Bird and others, you
That's
know,
right.
Ninja Dan. If someone wants to be a part of this,
Yeah.
this crusade, this way of living that's going to bring hope and get us where we need to be, how can they do that? How can they be a part of what you're doing?
A great question. The first answer to that question
Yes, sir.
is that your mind.
Aye.
You can join on Facebook.
Yeah.
You can come to meetings.
Yeah.
You can join on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can telephone and join. But more importantly,
Yes, sir.
your mind.
Your mind.
If you can change your mindset into that loving, powerful,
Aye.
confident mindset,
Yes, sir.
you're part of the movement. You've already joined. So you can do that any and everywhere. You see right now,
Yeah.
I tell people transformation is the speed of thought, you know.
Come on.
So right now,
Yes, sir.
everybody in this country could just
That's it.
switch
Uh-huh.
and create that mindset.
Right.
Eliminate all the negative, put all that, this much bandwidth,
Yeah.
make it all positive.
Wow.
Make it all that you believe in yourself.
Yes, sir.
And you know that you can and you will.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
That is how you join. That is how you join. You know?
Yeah.
That,
Dabba do. Oh boy, I'm gonna get in trouble this evening. There's got to be a part 2. Tell me you'll come back.
anytime, Dr. Tanji. I didn't know you before, Dr. Tanji, and I mean the last few days, I really enjoyed the journey with you. I really
Oh my
enjoyed
God!
it.
Please don't make me cry.
Yeah, it's really
Dadgummit. Hi, hi, hi. Thank you. Because I've gotta leave you with this. The last few hours, the last 72 hours, I'm thinking, is anybody listening? Dad, I get it now. I left everything to come here. I know I've been sent. I know I have. And some will and some won't, and I get that, right?
Yeah.
But we've got the power to make this place a better world
For
right
sure.
now.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, sure.
So anything that I can do to make it just a little lighter. I don't have all of the answers, but I know who does.
Me too.
And we're willing vessels. He has our minds, he has our hands, our feet. Anything that you put your mind to, you can do it.
Correct.
But you gotta put your mind to it.
Correct.
Thank you, St. Lucia. Thank you for hanging out with us. I'm sorry we got on a little late. You know, it happens when you're doing live television. But for you to spend an evening listening to the heart of Dr. Stephan King, that blesses me that you showed up. And you didn't just show up for him, but you showed up for you. Sure. I love you. Oh, yes, I do. And I'll do it until I take my last breath because I understand the value of love. I do. Thank you again for hanging out with us. There's going to be a part 2. Yep, he did say it out of his mouth. Dr. King, before we go, how can people stay in contact with you, sir?
There's Rice and Lucia. People know my number.
Yeah.
It's in the telephone book.
Dr. King, do you mind just giving a number, please?
My cell number, which WhatsApp, 484-3470. It's there in the telephone book. And it's there on air. People know how to get there.
Yes,
they see me everywhere. You guys know.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, and I love what you've just said.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, we all have that higher purpose. And we need to recognize it. And if people see that higher purpose in themselves and stay true to that and live with that, as Bob Marley sings in Redemption Song, by the hand of the Almighty, we will forward in this generation triumphantly. That's how you do it. Wow. That is how you do it. So, yeah, but feel free, link us up, link with Dr. Cherry, link with Dr. Bird, link with Jonathan, link with Betty. Betty is on, I mean, you can go on the Facebook, Betty's on Safe Spaces, all of these places you can link with us because we have multiple ways in which you can link to us.
Wonderful.
Safe Spaces, Rice and Lucia, me personally, Betty, Venus.
Yep.
You know, guys, you know it. You know how to do it.
All right, that's our show. Ay, ay, ay. Did I tell you were in for a treat? I love you so very much. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. And know you got a purpose for being here. All right, you really do. Until next time, the Lord say the same and the creek don't rise. We're going to do this thing again called Talk to Tanji right here, same time, same station. Mwah! Bye.